Welcome to my humble abode. For the last 141 days, I've been living in this car, and this is where we're performing today. In lieu of a space, this is what we're left with. It's going to be a little bit of stand-up, a little bit of social commentary, a little bit of everything. But let me explain something to you straight off the bat, okay? Social distancing 101, okay? I was already social distancing before anybody started. I live in a fucking car, okay? Look at this. That's it. We're in the lounge room right now, okay? The bedroom where the magic doesn't happen is in the back, okay? If you want to social distance, just live in a car. No one wants to come and hang out at your house when you live in a car. I can guarantee you that, okay? That's how that works. I mean, it really does cramp your Tinder game. I mean, you get the girl back to your car, and then she goes, let's go back to your place, and you're like, we're already here. But anyway, another thing we're going to talk about real quick before we get off going. My eyes. I have two lazy eyes, okay? It's tiring this day. We're at the end of the day. I'm going to do my best to look right at you, okay? But I'm stuck with what I've got. Now, this one goes that way, that one goes this way. Thankfully, none of them go this way, okay? Getting into a staring contest with me is like getting into a staring contest with a Muppet. You don't want to do it, you're not going to win, okay? So if my eye starts to strain, trust me. Click the emoji laughing emoji if you're laughing. Please do that, okay? English, please, not for you, Juan. You don't get English, mate. Okay, so we've covered my lazy eyes, all right? I do need to talk to you about one thing, all right? We're going to talk about my dad a lot tonight. I'm not exactly sure that he takes coronavirus seriously. 2 days ago, my dad in Australia went out and gardened. He sprayed the weeds in full chem gear in front of his neighbours. Head to toe, full chem gear and a gas mask, walking around his backyard. How much do you think he's freaked out his neighbours at this point? Unbelievable, okay? That's my dad. That's who we're running with right here, okay? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've definitely had less telemarketers calling me during this coronavirus, okay? But what it has done is it is a Jehovah's Witnesses wet dream. You can't hide anymore. They know you're home. They know you're home, okay? They're coming to get you. I mean, back in the day, back when I was 4 years old, we used to hide from them because we lived in a tiny little town with 31 people in it. So the Jehovah's knew you were home because your car's in the damn driveway. But my mum used to let everybody, my mum used to make me hide on the floor of the kitchen from the Jehovah's. And one day she didn't get me quick enough, and I answered the door, and there's two people in nice little black ties at the front door. Is your mum home? Yes, she's hiding on the floor in the kitchen. Would you like to come meet her? So I invited the Jehovah's into my house. Okay, you got to watch out for that with your kids. Make sure they're not left on the door during a quarantine. Speaking of which, the people in Houston don't have this problem, but the people, because you guys have just started quarantining, but those in LA, who's at the bottom of their quarantine box of food? You know, when you're sitting there and you're looking around and you bought all that shit when you went and bought all your toilet paper and all your paper towels and all that crap, but you bought all those noodles and all that other canned shit, tuna, all that shit. Has anybody got to that point yet? Okay, I've got 2 cans of tuna in the bottom of my box. So when we get down there, I know we're screwed. When we get to the tuna, I keep avoiding the tuna. When you get down the bottom and you got that last thing of tuna, you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go to McDonald's. Let's eat some fucking cheeseburgers because I can't handle this shit. And you can't go back to the supermarket anymore because now you've got to line up for half an hour to get in because you're going to be 10 feet apart. One in, one out. Okay. We still there? Good. 23 people. I like it. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I hope I'm not talking too fast. I got more in me yet. Okay? I sleep on a CPAP machine in this car. Okay? I sleep in a CPAP machine. This bad boy back here. All right? Oh yeah, it looks like Bane is about to invade. I'm going to destroy Gotham. So, Back when I first started out here, I used to sleep in the back of my car in neighbourhoods during the day because I worked at night. But I had to keep the engine running because I had the CPAP going. Now I've got a hard line to plug into. So you can imagine the surprise. I'm half naked in the back of my car, attached to a CPAP. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I snap back. I look through that back window because my head's sitting right here. And I see the goddamn parking police about to write me a ticket. What do you do? What do you do when you see the parking police? Because it's not legal until he slaps that thing on the goddamn windshield. What do? I jumped out of the car so fucking quickly, I still had the CPAP mask attached to my face. I'm wearing my underpants. I run past him like some sort of weird, fucked up apocalypse guy, gave him a double wave like this in my tidy whities, jumped in the front seat of my car and drove off while he was still writing the ticket. That's the way you handle that shit. I couldn't help myself. I actually did an end around and came back and waved at the guy, and he's still standing in the middle of the road with the machine. He was shocked. He didn't know what to think. So if you ever get a parking ticket for sleeping butt naked in the back of your car, throw on your tidy whities and whoop, off you go with your CPAP on. That's the only way to beat it. But this car, I've been in LA 8 months now. First day I was here, I pulled into a shopping centre. Only spot left was compact car. I drive a Ford Explorer SUV. I pull in my compact car. As soon as I get out, this fucking standard California douchebag dickhead wearing a pair of flip-flops, a Hawaiian shirt, and a pair of cargo shorts looks at me and goes, "You know that's for compact cars, sir." I said, "In Texas, this is a compact car, mate." So, the other week, I was in a hotel 3 nights ago. And I turned on the Ocho. Have you seen the Ocho? The Ocho is ESPN 8. That's the one you want, okay? That's their fucking bullshit network. All the crazy stuff, okay? I roll up and they've got the axe throwing contest on. That's what it says on my little guide, axe throwing contest. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to see some lumberjack guys just slinging axes. Let's make it happen. Let's do the axes. I turn it on, and what do I get? I get 2 guys who look like they were playing beanbags with these little hatchets going, ah, ah, ah. Might as well have been throwing the fucking axe underarm. That's not what I'm looking for when I see axe throwing on TV. I want you throwing that thing 20 meters. 20 meters is about 60 feet for you Americans, by the way. Okay? Who haven't embraced the fucking metric system yet. Alright? 60 meters is what I want. 60 feet is what I want to see an axe get hurled. I want to go and watch the axe hurling championship. Not the fucking axe throwing championship. Axe throwing's for bitches. I mean, what that thing needed was someone like Liam Neeson walking in the door. Okay? A good, true, hard bastard walking in the door and going, "I'm here to throw axes because I am a man with a very particular set of skills. Skills that make me a nightmare for all you bastards on the Ocho network." That's the guy you want coming through the door. You want Liam Neeson going in there. I can't imagine Liam Neeson in the middle of this goddamn coronavirus epidemic, turning up at CVS or the pharmacy. "Hi, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want, but I'm here for a mask. A big mask. I need a mask." So they send him down the road to the goddamn domed building, and then he walks in and he goes, "Listen, I'm here for a mask. Get off your knees." Nah, that maybe not be that funny. That thing still needs some work. I think Liam Neeson working into a mosque asking for a mask is probably a stretch at this point. But you know what? It's not that much of a stretch, because the other day I turned on the TV and I saw the My Pillow guy standing next to our fucking president out here. Now, I had no context of why he was standing next to the president, but I looked up and saw the fucking My Pillow guy standing next to the president. The last time I saw the My Pillow guy, the last time I saw him was usually it's the same way everybody sees this guy. You watch like 4 episodes of Law and Order, you pass out on the couch, you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing you see when you open your eyes is that guy in that fucking blue pirate shirt or whatever the shit he's wearing with 3 buttons undone, flogging his pillows, because his pillows are fucking fantastic. That's how everybody meets the My Pillow guy, okay? That's how it's done. That's my memory of that guy. And now he's next to the president. I understand he's doing a great thing. They're down there and they're making masks for people. I don't know if he's doing it for free, but he's still making masks. And he's still making pillows as well. But you know what? You know what? It's funny, man. If the My Pillow guy is standing next to the president, next time it won't shock me at all if I see Frank Thomas standing next to the president, shilling dick pills, fucking eugenics cures coronavirus. That's the next thing that's coming. Okay? Frank Thomas is up there with a fucking set of barbells going, you know what? Get you some eugenics pills and you'll never get coronavirus. That's what's going to happen next. I guarantee it. If someone tells Trump that eugenics fixes coronavirus, Frank Thomas will be the new Minister for Defense. Well, there's 30 people still in there, so at least I'm keeping some of you entertained. I'll tell you what, at this point we'll have a quick ad break, just to let you know that any donations will be most appreciated will go towards putting me in a hotel occasionally. My Venmo is there, my Cash App is there. Thank you for your support. We've got more to come. Rightio, so far we've gone over social distracting 101. We've done my lazy eyes that can't see straight. We've tackled coronavirus and my dad and the weeds. We've done the Jehovah's Witness and the wet dream. We've hit the bottom of the quarantine box to eat our tuna. I got a CPAP parking ticket, then got out of it. We've talked about compact cars. We've talked about the axe throwing championship and how it should be the fucking axe hurling championship. We've gone over Liam Neeson. We've hit the My Pillow guy, and Frank Thomas just gave us a fucking eugenics, which is why I'm so hyped up right now, because I've got dick pills going through me. Now, I went and saw an acting agent the other week, okay? Sorry, Kevin, I'm not nerding up for you, bud. I went and saw an acting agent the other week, and you know what he told me? He said, son, you look like you're a niche within a niche. I said, what the fuck does that mean? And he sits there and goes, you know what? He said, you look like the guy that James Bond kicks the shit out of before he gets to the last guy. All right. I guess that's a fucking good thing. He said, yeah, whatever you do, don't go to the gym. He said, because if you go to the gym and fix this, then we have to fix this. And that ain't going to fucking happen. And I'm like, what is this, an intervention or a goddamn acting agent? He's like, no, mate, trust me. You can be a henchman any way you want. And then I realized that's kind of true as well, because when I left that acting agent, I ended up going to Subway. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I go into my local Subway, and I go in there and I'm halfway through getting a nice little ham and cheese footlong at 1 o'clock in the morning, and this fucking crackhead walks in the door and goes straight over to the water machine, fills up a cup of water, and just hurls the entire cup at the sandwich artist behind the counter. It's at this point I figure out that the sandwich artist and the crackhead have a history. A pretty long one from what I gather, because he goes back, gets another cup out of the trash can and hurls another cup of soda at the goddamn sandwich artist. My guy has just put my fucking sandwich in the toaster machine. He snaps, jumps the fucking counter, and then starts going toe-to-toe with the crackhead. Now, I've deduced very quickly that the crackhead is a better fighter than the sandwich artist. I wasn't interested in this fight, but now the fate of my sandwich is in the hands of this fucking sandwich artist who can't fucking fight his way out of a wet paper bag. So now I have to jump in. The man who looks like the man that fucking James Bond kicks the shit out of before the last guy has to jump into the fucking fight. So I jump in, push the sandwich artist out of the way, grab the crackhead, smack his head up against the glass a couple of times, and then kick him out the door on the ass. Turn round, look at the sandwich artist and go, you may fucking continue. Here's the moral of the story, okay? Not only does he finish my sandwich extra special, not only does he give me 2 cookies, but the whole thing's on the fucking house. And I'm like, fucking free sandwich for a fight? Part of my brain wants to go and find the crackhead and pay him $2 every weekend to come and fight me so I get free sandwiches from fucking Subway. It's the best fucking racket in the entire world. I get free food for fighting. No, mate, homeless people are interesting out here in LA. There's a lot of them. I almost got done the other day. There's one particular crazy lady. I think she's schizophrenic, okay? I feel really bad for her because she's genuinely homeless. I've stepped over her a couple of times at 3 o'clock in the morning. I ran into her the other day in the street. And she's batshit. And I thought, you know what? I've got $5 extra. Today you're getting my $5 extra. Okay? I go, ma'am, get yourself something to eat. And she goes, why, thank you, sir. I'm like, what? Don't fucking pull a reverse Ed Norton on me right now. Don't do this reverse primal fear shit where you go from being a nutball to being normal. Don't fucking do that to me. I can't handle that right now. I looked at her and I'm staring at her, and as I walked off, then she started talking about fucking the end of times and where's my fucking red bicycle? And I'm like, thank God you're back to being normal. Because that's what I care about. I want you to be nuts as you can be, and I'll keep giving you $5 every week. But don't take advantage of me. Don't pull that Ed Norton shit on me. I can't handle that. The Ed Norton thing will kick my ass too hard. Both of them are fucked. Okay? I grew up in a small town. 26 people in my hometown. Okay? 26 people in my hometown. It was one street. The town's name is Walker Road in northern New South Wales in Australia. Right? One street called Middle Street. Makes no fucking sense. Why would you call the one street Middle Street? I never saw Side Street, First Street. Here's the most fucked up part. We're at number 4 Middle Street. Where's number 2, 3, and 1? They weren't even there. It made no sense. But it did make it an interesting place to grow up, okay? Especially musically, because when you live in a town with 26 people, you get one TV channel. When I was young, we had one, then we had 2. Which meant that you watch what Dad watches. And every weekend was cool, because every weekend we used to watch the top 40 countdown over breakfast. It was called Rage. And if you're old enough in Australia, you remember what Rage was. Okay? It finished at 9 a.m. The last 10 went from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Just when my dad liked to eat his bacon and eggs. Now here was where it was fun. Everybody remember Sinead O'Connor covering Prince's Nothing Compares to You? Worldwide smash? Well, in Australia, that fucking song was number 1 for 7 weeks. So for 7 weeks, I got to watch my dad eat breakfast to 6.5 minutes of Sinead O'Connor, which is one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen. It was one of the gifts that just kept on giving, because every week he's like, this fucking bald bitch again? God damn. And because there's no remote back in those days, the TV was at the other end of the lounge room. We're in the kitchen. So you're not getting up off your ass to change the channel, because that's a 5-minute walk. All right? That's old school shit. You're like, you know what? This sucks, but that's a long fucking walk. I'm not going all the way down there to turn the knob on the TV. Yes, kids, TVs used to have knobs, because we only had about 12 channels. Okay? TVs had knobs back in those days. My dad lost his shit. And you know what made it better? Was what replaced Sinead O'Connor, which was Fine Young Cannibal, She Drives Me Crazy, for another 6 weeks, which he fucking hated as well. Oh, shit, sorry folks, gotta have a drink. Excuse me for a second. I really do appreciate you all taking the time out of your day to join with me on this one. It's funny, the first day of the Corona quarantine here in LA I was scheduled to perform at the Comedy Store that night for my first time in the original room. So I lost my show, but I really couldn't get that mad, because I was watching people losing complete tours who were working at the Laugh Factory that night. So I can't get mad at all. But anyway, let's get back to my upbringing and where we grew up. So I'm back in Walker Road, Middle Street, number 4, not number 1, 2, and 3, number 4. Okay, so we're back on it. The Sydney paper used to have a little colouring in section in it, in the middle where the cartoons were. It was a Transformer contrast once. I coloured it in as best as I can. Okay? Sent it off to Sydney. 4 months later. Okay? 4 months later. Cheers, Matty. 4 months later, I get in the mail my first place prize, a Transformer. Mailed to the bush, mailed to me. And my mum was so happy, so proud. And she sat there and she goes, you know what, son, you did such a good job colouring that thing in. That was so awesome. And all I hear from the Sinead O'Connor hating bastard in the background is, Yeah, it probably felt sorry for you because you're from the fucking bush. That's my dad. He's amazing in that regard. Toughened me out. Made me better that way. Okay? It's fucking hilarious. He called me the other week. This is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. He's a big R&B man. I was raised on the Commodores, Lionel Richie, all that really cool stuff. Okay? He called me the other week. He said, you know what, son? He says, I found this new R&B guy. He's pretty good. He sings some really good songs. I like him a lot. I said, what's his name? He goes, oh, he does some amazing stuff. He's got an amazing voice. Voice of an angel. A little bit hip, but I can handle it. And I said, what's his name? And he said, R. Kelly. I said, just get your head around that for a minute. I said, excuse me? What did you say to me? He said, R. Kelly. He's great. I said, you know what? Can you go over to the computer and just Google R. Kelly? And he goes, what should I put in the subject line? I said, don't worry. It's coming up first. You don't need to put anything in the subject line. You could put fucking cornflakes in the subject line. It's still coming up first. He types in R. Kelly and all they hear from the other side of the room is, fuck! I said, yep, that'll do it. That pee-pee shit will get you every time, Dad. I'm sorry. And he actually tried to make it make sense. He's like, well, it is pretty good music, though. I said, that's the problem we have in America right now. He does make good. Ignition is good, but it's not that fucking good. All right, folks, stick with me. Stick with me. We've got a couple more jokes to go, and then we're done, okay? I do appreciate you guys coming with me on this, okay? I spent about 6 years in Iraq, out there as a contractor. Saw some crazy shit out there. Saw some shit that makes the Tiger King look like nothing. I mean, all those people work out there. Okay, my guys who worked as contractors out there with me will attest to this shit. Every third truck driver I worked with out there was fucking Joe Exotic. Okay? They're all like that. I worked with them for 6 years. I had to leave before I turned into one. Okay? We're out there at a place called Tal Afar, up on the Syrian border, up west of Mosul, right up in the north. This female major turns up. They had a gym up there at Tal Afar. It was a small base, but the gym was called the Soldiers Athletic Center, the SAC. Fantastic gym. Female major got posted there. Walks up to the colonel, who I smoke cigars with, and says, you need to change the name of this fucking gym. And he said, to what? Why do I need to change the name of my gym? And she goes, because it's offensive to women. You can't call a gym the SAC. The Soldiers Athletic Center? I got to change it? You got to tell me I have to change my base. She said, yes. It's a new army. You've got to change it. No worries. I'll change it. Get out. And she gets out. The next day, we get invited to a ribbon cutting ceremony at 7 a.m. I don't know where the fuck this guy found ribbon in northern Iraq. But he was there. He'd already redone the sign. Yeah, H5, damn right. You know it, Mark. He'd already redone the sign and he'd changed the name. So he was right there in the ribbon cutting ceremony of the new multi-unit fitness facility, or MUF for short. So that's why you don't fuck with people in a remote location like that. So that's how your SAC gets turned into a MUF in a night. That's quicker. That's the most quickest transition in history. All right, folks. Just to let you guys know, has anybody, I don't know, I mean, a lot of us have gone skydiving before, okay? Someone called me about 6 months ago and wanted me to go skydiving again, all right? I still have PTSD from the last time I went skydiving, okay? I don't think I can do it again, all right? Last time I went skydiving, we were playing bad guy for the SAS, okay? Playing bad guy for the SAS. At the end of it all, they said, right, we're going to give you guys a reward for dying so valiantly. You get a yippee jump, what we call a yippee jump. I went, no worries, yippee jump sounds great. I'm wearing a pair of rugby shorts, flip-flops, and a tank top. And they said, come out to the airstrip. I went, cool. I said, we're going to go up and do a tandem jump from 15,000 feet. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm into that. Where's my uniform? They go, no, just jump in what you're wearing, mate. I'm like, what? Just jump in what you're wearing. I went, all right, I can do that. He goes, leave your thongs on the ground, though. They're flip-flops for you Americans, by the way, because they're not going to make it. So I'm barefoot. My first jump was from 15,000 feet in a pair of rugby shorts and a tank top barefoot. Attached to, the biggest problem I had was I was a little bit worried because the guy who was packing chutes all week was a guy named Dave. Dave was really good at what he did. But the problem was Dave got shot in the nuts with a beanbag round the day before, and now Dave was in the hospital, and his understudy, Stephen had just graduated parachute packing school, was now packing my chute, which made me a little concerned about what was about to happen. Okay? Then I get introduced to the person who I'm going to be attached to for the next fucking two hours. Up comes this SAS sergeant, Bruce. And Bruce looks at me and goes, "Son, how much do you fucking weigh?" And I said, "Oh, I weigh about 100 kilos, sir." This is about 100 pounds ago. Weigh about 240 pounds. He goes, "Good. So do I. We're going to fucking plummet. We'll be down before anybody else. This is going to be fucking awesome, mate." So now I'm shitting my pants because I've got the chute packed by Stephen, not Dave. And I've got Bruce, who's super stoked that we're going to speed to the fucking ground to our imminent death, attached to my back. We're getting up, we jump in the chute, we jump in the plane, and we're on our way up to 15,000 feet. And Bruce is pretty excited at this point. He's all attached to my back. He's excited. We're about to go out the side door, but there's one little secret that Bruce knows, that I know that Bruce doesn't. That day, I was freeballing in those rugby shorts. I was hanging commando style, literally, in those rugby shorts. So I had to make a decision when I put on my harness where I wanted to put everything. And I went with the meat and 2 vegetable approach to putting your junk in your pants and put the harness down the middle. I thought this would work. We jump out of the plane and my balls get sucked to the side of my thigh at terminal velocity like you've never seen. I'm sitting there, we jumped out of the plane, I'm like, my nuts, my nuts, my nuts. And all I can hear is Bruce behind me going, "Yeah, this is fucking crazy. This is nuts." I'm like, shit. Christ, I'm sitting there just dying. 45 seconds of terminal velocity. My nuts are being sandblasted on the side of my thigh. Finally, we get to the chute. I'm like, "Please pop the fucking chute, pop the chute, pop the chute, pop the chute." He pops the chute. I'm like, "Thank fuck, now we're hanging." I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is horrible. Oh my God, I can reach down and grab these things and tuck them back in. I go down and reach down and grab my nuts. I can't fucking reach. I'm 3 fucking inches short of grabbing my nuts because the harness is too fucking tight. Now, as we drift slowly, I'm like, Jesus, just get me to the ground. We drift slowly down to the football field below, where 700 kindergarten students have gathered to watch the army men land. All they can see are my battered red nuts hanging down the side of my leg, which I can't reach. Ah, fuck. I tell you, folks, I can't appreciate enough you guys coming by and hanging with me today. I appreciate you guys checking this out. Yeah, hopefully we'll do this again next month. Again, a little message for you guys. If you want to help a struggling comic eat, this would help. You can find me on Venmo at TXAussieDad and Cash App at TXAussieDad as well, okay? Thank you very much for your support, folks. I love each and one of you that came out and watched this. Thank you very much. You've made my month. This is fantastic. This is so cathartic.